1, 2, checker. Microphone checker. Crowd goes wild when the yeah. YouTube, what's popping? What's crack-a-lacking with your folk coalition? What's good, man? My name is Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. On this channel, I talk about fashion, I talk about fragrance, and I also jump into a little bit of men's lifestyle as well. So if you love looking good and smelling great, guys, you found the right channel. Consider subscribing, and also make sure you go ahead and hit the bell icon as well. That way, anytime I upload new content on YouTube, you're gonna get notified. So if you're into fragrances that don't cost a lot of money, then today is your day, because I have 10 fragrances for you in my collection that are cheap, okay, or inexpensive, whatever way you want to classify that or say that. Cheap, inexpensive, they don't cost a lot of money is all I'm saying. So if you're into those kind of scents and you're looking for something great for the summertime, then this is going to be the list for you, because I have 10 fragrances from my collection that are cheap, inexpensive, or that don't cost a lot of money that I think are going to be great for the summertime. Now, these are just 10 selections from my personal collection that I have. And again, I will make these recommendations to you guys as well. So if you don't have these in your collection now, then you might want to go out and get them, because in my humble opinion, these are really good and they're not going to break the bank. So if you want to see what made my list this year of 10 inexpensive or cheap fragrances to wear for this summer of 2022, then you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. Let's get it.
The Bowtie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we are back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're about to jump right into this list of 10 inexpensive or cheap fragrances that are great to wear for the summertime. Now, this first fragrance up on the list today is one that I don't see a lot of people talk about, but in this particular category is one that I think is worth being mentioned. And this is from the house of Hugo Boss, and this one is called Boss Bottled Tonic. Boss Bottled Tonic. Now, this fragrance is what you would think about when you envision summertime fragrances. Again, tonic kind of implies the fact that it's a little bit lighter, and that's not a bad thing when you talk about fragrances that you want to wear or are going to wear in the high heat of the summertime. And that's exactly what this fragrance is good for. It's perfect for the summertime, perfect for the high heat. You have some apple, some grapefruit, some orange, and when it dries down, you're gonna get some vetiver as well as geranium. Again, the perfect recipe for a great summer fragrance. And again, as the theme of the list is, you're not gonna have to break the bank for this. You can find this for about that $30 price point. So guys, make sure you check this one out. Again, it's from the house of Hugo Boss. This is Boss Bottled Tonic. All right, guys, so coming in at the 9th spot on this list this year, this fragrance right here is from the house of Ed Hardy, and this one is called Hearts and Daggers. Hearts and Daggers, and man, this thing has a very unique pear note in this fragrance, and I gotta say, man, I really dig it, especially for what you are going to pay for it. You really can't beat this, man, because you're talking about spending maybe 15 bucks for a fragrance like this. And honestly, at the end of the day, it just really freaking smells good. That's the best thing that I can tell you about this particular fragrance. Again, you get pear. There's some type of martini accord in here. I don't know. But then you have basil, pepper, and you have a little bit of warmth in this fragrance that comes in with a little bit of suede on the dry down. But again, for the summertime, it's one of those fragrances that just works. It's really one of those fragrances that people notice when you have it on. And you're gonna get some compliments with this thing. So check it out. From the house of Ed Hardy. Again, this one is called Ed Hardy, Hearts and Daggers. All right, so coming in at the 8th spot on the list this year of 10 cheap or inexpensive summer fragrances, this one is from the house of Nautica, and this one is called Nautica Voyage Heritage. Man, you're gonna get some similarities to the original Nautica Voyage, but this one has a very very prominent note of mint up top. And guys, I've talked about mint a lot over the past couple weeks because around this time of year, mint and fragrances just really work to give this really almost invigorating freshness to fragrances, and I can definitely dig that. So check this one out, guys. This one is from the house of Nautica. This is Nautica Voyage Heritage. All right, guys, so the next fragrance up on the list comes from the house of Jupe, and this one is called Jupe Jump. Jupe Jump, and this is another fragrance that you can find for under the $20 price point that's gonna work in the summertime heat. Now this thing features notes of grapefruit, there's some rosemary in this as well, and a little bit of sweetness from tonka bean as it really dries all the way down. And listen, in the summertime, I don't mind a little bit of sweetness in my fragrances as long as it's not overly sweet and becomes cloying, and that's not what this is. Honestly, man, this thing smells really, really good for what you're going to pay for it. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, man. Smelling good and being able to do it and afford being able to do it. And that's what this fragrance is going to allow you to do. Cheap, inexpensive, smells great. Count me in. This fragrance comes from the house of Jupe, and this is called Jupe Jump. All right, guys, so coming in at the 6th spot on this list, if you were like me and you kept seeing this fragrance in the rack store and you kept passing it by, stop. Don't do that anymore, because I promise you, for what you're gonna pay for it, this fragrance is very much well worth it. This one comes from the house of Banana Republic, and it's called Banana Republic M. M by Banana Republic. Man, listen, this thing has a very, very prominent and almost photorealistic kind of orange tangerine kind of opening to it, and I really, really dig it. It has plum as well as fig, and you guys know if you've been following this channel for any amount of time, as of late here I've been talking a lot about the note of fig because it gives this creaminess to fragrances. And to add on to that creaminess, they also have some sandalwood when this thing dries down, and again, it smells really, really good. Now again, on the performance side of it, none of these fragrances on this list are really performance beasts, but again, when you're paying less than 25 bucks, who is complaining? So guys, check this one out. If you've been passing it by, don't pass it by anymore. It's a really, really good option for the summertime. Again, from the house of Banana Republic. This is simply called M. All right, guys, now coming in at the 5th spot on this list, this is a fragrance you guys have probably seen as well in one of your rack store runs. And this one comes from the house of Tommy Bahama, and this is called Maritime Deep Blue. Maritime Deep Blue, man, this stuff, Tommy Bahama, man, I gotta give him credit, man. You talk about the summertime, you think about summertime, you think about vacations, going to your favorite tropical destination. He makes some really good fragrances for the summertime, and this particular scent is definitely no different. This one is is slightly green and aquatic. That's the best way that I can describe this one. It has notes of rosemary in this. You have some water lily. You have some musk, some oak moss as it dries down. Again, kind of giving that masculine feel to this aquatic scent. And again, theme of the list, guys, is inexpensive and it works for the summertime. So make sure you put this one on your list this year. If you're looking for something great to wear in the summertime, it's inexpensive. It comes from the house of Tommy Bahama, and again, this is called Maritime Deep Blue. All right, guys, coming in at the 4th spot, this is not only a great cheap summer fragrance. I think this, if you could make a top 10 or top 15 best cheap, inexpensive fragrances of all time, I wouldn't mind somebody arguing this fragrance being on that list because, again, it's really good. An amazing discovery of mine maybe a year and a half ago, maybe a year ago. This one comes from the house of Abercrombie & Fitch, and this is First Instinct Together. First Instinct Together, and this is a really, really good, cheap, inexpensive fragrance. It opens up with this amazing combination of green apple, pineapple, and grapefruit. Love the opening of this scent, and then in the heart of it, you get some lavender to kind of give this kind of almost clean fougere-like quality to it. Then it dries down with some sandalwood and some musk. An amazing scent for what you're going to pay for it. And it just so happens that this thing is great to wear in the high heat of the summer. So check this one out as well, guys. This is from the house of Abercrombie & Fitch. This is First Instinct Together. All right, guys, now coming in at the number 3 spot, everything I just said about the last fragrance, I want to say that again, and I want to double down on that with this particular scent. This one comes from the house of Sean John, and this is called Sean John 3 AM. Sean John 3 AM, man. This has the infamous, that gin and tonic kind of combination in this scent. But in addition to that, you're gonna get some fig leaf in here, and it's the amazing opening of this scent that also features a note of mandarin oranges. Again, cannot say enough good things about this fragrance and what you get for the price. I know most of you have heard about this, but if you haven't, and if you don't have it in your collection, this is the perfect time to pick this up. Again, this one comes from the house of Sean John, and this one is called 3 AM. All right, guys, and coming in at the number 2 spot, this is another oldie, but it's definitely a goodie. This one comes from the house of Mont Blanc, and this one is called Starwalker. Starwalker. Now, they released a extreme version of this fragrance, and that was a little bit sweeter. I mean, you could wear it in the summertime, but at the end of the day, when you talk about hot weather, I still prefer the original. This is another fragrance that has mandarin orange and a very prominent note of bamboo. It kind of gives this woody slash kind of relaxing overall feel to this fragrance, and I just dig it, man. This is one of those fragrances, again, that you can just kind of grab and go, don't have to think a lot about it, and especially when the weather is hot outside, this is a fragrance that you are going to be happy that you have in your possession. It works for any occasion pretty much in the summertime, and as the theme of the list indicates, this one is not going to break the bank. So get this one in your collection, guys, if you don't have it yet. From the house of Mont Blanc, this one is called Starwalker. All right, now coming in at the number 1 spot on this list, this is not only one of my favorite inexpensive fragrances to wear in the summertime, it is one of my favorite summertime fragrances, period, of all time. And this fragrance comes from the house of Versace, and this one is called Versace Man Eau Fresh. Versace Man Eau Fresh. I can't say enough good things about this. Quintessential summer fragrance. It puts me in a good mood. It makes me feel good. It smells great. And man, this thing just works. This is highway robbery that we only have to pay about 30, 35 bucks for a bottle this size. And sometimes you can find it even cheaper than that on discounters, or sometimes when you just happen to stroll into your nearest rack store. This fragrance is readily available, and it is readily good for the summertime. Again, cannot say enough good things about this fragrance, but you've heard about this one. And if you don't have it in your collection at this point, I don't know why you wouldn't. But for the summertime, you need to get this in your life. So check it out from the house of Versace. This is Versace Man Eau Fresh. All right, guys, that's it, man. That's my time. I hope you enjoyed the video today, as I gave you 10 inexpensive or cheap fragrances to wear in the summertime. As always, I sincerely appreciate your time and your attention to these videos. You don't have to watch, but you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. Don't forget to make sure you take a few moments to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you are sharing these videos out to some other folks that you think could use this information or find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell absolutely fantastic. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.